Recently, KJ, there's been studies in the American think tank world, like the Wilson Center, the Jamestown Foundation, who are calling for like more American United States intervention in that conflict. Do you see the United States intervening in that conflict more?
I think it already is intervening. We're seeing Western mercenaries in Myanmar. These are people who have displaced themselves from Ukraine and Syria, but are, serious, combat hardened veterans. We already see that the US has sunk $400 million into Myanmar. Primarily, they claim humanitarian aid, but it's going into all sorts of different sources. The U.S. passed the Burma Act recently. That's 136 million annually, and that includes $50 million a year to support NGOs and civil society organizations in and around Myanmar for quote unquote democracy trainings.
Mm.
And it also is in the process of supporting them with non-lethal assistance. The NUG, which is the U.S. Aligned government in exile, is asking for another $500 million a year
Mm.
for, they call it non-lethal assistance, but we're talking about, digital warfare technology, digital security. We're talking about, body armor, radar, drones, and drone jamming technology.
Uh,
So, it's all dual use stuff.
yeah.
And what the US wants is they want a civilian government amenable to its will, not unlike Ukraine or Taiwan province or South Korea, etc.,
Yeah.
etc.
Just to be clear, KJ, when you're talking about the American massive plans to massively intervene here, this is to support the groups that are opposed to the military junta, the military government, the ethnic armed organizations, the EAOs as they call them, and there's dozens of them in Myanmar. You're saying that the American government are very much dedicating their resources to boost these various paramilitary groups, these insurgents.
It's a very, very complex map, and it's not any single binary that you can name. So you have currently, let me name the players. You have the SAC and the Tatmadaw. This is the current military coup government. You have
Mhm.
the NUG, which is the government in exile. This is the former Burma majority civilian government, which was cohabiting with the military, and they were actually colluding with the military, but now they've been put into exile. So the NUG is the exile government, strongly aligned with the United States, but playing other, hands as well. They have what they refer to as the PDF, the People's Defense Forces, which are civilian resistance groups inside of Burma. And these PDFs are now starting to integrate with the armed ethnic organizations. There are over 30 armed ethnic organizations. They're ethnic militias. Some of them are incredibly powerful. Some of them produce, for example, their own munitions. They are self-sustained armies, and they have allied in different ways. It looks like the PDF is starting to ally with certain armed ethnic organizations. Now, the armed ethnic organizations I see as the key player, but they have various shifting alliances. And so it's a misunderstanding to think that they're either allied with one side or the other. They essentially have their own interests, and some of them are coming together in temporary alliances. But yes, sorry, that was a long answer. The US is trying to seek actors that it can support in order to further its own interests, including the PDF and the certain sectors or portions of armed ethnic organizations. Certainly, there's been outreach to the armed ethnic organizations and the ethnic governments that lead them.